Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. This is Deborah Roth. Whenever you are watching this, whether you're live with me as I'm doing it in this moment or watching it some other time, this is where we gather every week. This is what I've been doing since last summer, since summer of 2020, where we honor the divine feminine within ourselves. And as I say, probably every week, it is something that is not gender specific. We all carry the divinely feminine qualities of compassion and honoring our intuition and our emotions, celebrating our bodies. That's such a huge thing for us. And through our bodies, our connection to nature. There's so many qualities that we identify as divinely, hi Kathy, that we identify as being divinely feminine or part of those sacred feminine characteristics that we all carry within us. And particularly important in this still very patriarchal time we live in. So just for that little bit of context, and where our inner goddess team shows up in that way is that the goddess and all of her, I say her 10,000 faces and representations around the world, all the mythologies in so many different cultures, really remind us of that feminine energy that we can call on whenever we need it. I often look for a particular goddess holiday from around the world that coincides with when I happen to be doing this, which right now is on the cusp of December. But what I've discovered too in all of I've just had so much fun with this and learned so much myself. I know about a lot of goddesses. I've been doing this for a long time, but really, what I've learned is that there are so many, and it really is kind of this primordial sea. There's so many myths and conversations about when their festivals are, and so many of them in all the different cultures happen throughout the year. So you can tap into this energy whether or not we're on a particular feast day or not. Just remember that we carry this divinely feminine energy. We carry these archetypes of the goddess and all of her many faces within us in any time, and you can tap into that energy whenever you need it most. So with that preamble, my regular little preamble, today we're going to focus on the West African goddess MAWU, and it's M-A-W-U, and she was the original primordial creatrix of life, the original mother goddess. She represents kind of the universal order of things and how we give birth to projects. That's one way, and I'll give several other ones that you can use her energy right now or whenever you need it to bring whatever you're working on to fruition. She's a goddess of fertility. And therefore a goddess of lovemaking also, because she is the one that birthed humankind, that birthed the earth. She was considered the goddess of the moon and the night sky, and her twin sister, who was also her wife, which I loved that, was Liza or Lisa, Liza, Lisa, I found in different representations. And together, when they created their holy union, they were able to represent both the night and the day, because Liza was, I'm not sure, I don't know if I'm pronouncing them right, but it's spelled like our Liza or our Lisa, alternate names. She was the goddess of the sun and the daylight hours. So together they really represent the rhythms of life, not just throughout the day and the rhythms from dark to light, but also through the whole year, our connection to nature and the ways that we as humans, male or female, can embody those rhythms. MAWU is also very much about embodying the natural rhythms that we see around us. Hello, Melanie. Here's a wonderful representation that I found of the two of them together, of these twins, of MAWU and Liza, her sister and her wife, which I just thought was wonderful. And don't you love the crescent moon there? On the side of MAWU, she was the goddess of the moon and the night. And then on Liza's side, you see the sun and the brightness of the day. So beautiful representation there. So she is often pictured, Mawu is often pictured. I didn't find one of her, a depiction of her riding an elephant, but that's also often how she's depicted. And elephants are, especially with their trunks up. I've given elephant hangings to people for housewarmings and baby gifts and that kind of thing, because that's a classic symbol of good luck. So Mawu is often pictured riding an elephant. And it is said that she created humanity by forming humans out of clay. And she found at some point that that when she placed them on the earth, that the weight of them weighted down the earth. And so she called on the ancient serpent god. Let's see if I can find his name. And again, apologies if someone knows how to say this correctly. Aido Huido, Aidohwedo, so she called upon him to curl up beneath the earth and to support it and to keep it supported so it didn't collapse under the weight of all of these clay humans that eventually turned into humans, I suppose. The other thing that I loved is that at some point she she felt like she needed to repurpose this clay that she was using. She was running out of her materials, her creating materials. And so she repurposed some of these figures. And that's why the myth goes that we look like our ancestors, because she would repurpose, she would take a clay figure and use the facial features and use the features to create another being. So I love that. I love that connection to our ancestors that she represents as well. So she is someone that you will call on when you want to birth new creations in the world, as I've talked about. She helps you, along with her sister Liza, because together they represent this, to reconnect with the cycles and rhythms of life, and to just in general increase your life energy and your vitality, your sense of vitality. One of the other myths that I thought was really interesting with her, was kind of fun, is that she called on the serpent, the ancient snake god, to support the earth. And then she also called on a monkey, Awe, and asked for help in creating new animals out of clay, since he was an animal. But she didn't realize quite how boastful and prideful he was. And he started telling everyone, and eventually told her that he was more powerful than her. And so she doesn't really make it clear. There are a couple different versions of this myth, but she gives him a drink that includes the seed of death to kind of teach him a lesson, so that he will die. And because she is the creator of all life, she is the most powerful creatrix, not him, so that she then can bring him back to life. And he may or may not be humbled. That wasn't really clear whether that did the trick to calm him down. So thinking about how you want to use this energy, as we, in the time that I'm doing this now, as we approach the end of the year, but really it can happen at any time. If you have a project that you need to bring life to, basically, that you want to fertilize to growth, one of the kind of rituals that you can do around that is to literally plant seeds, and then to imbue those seeds, do a little prayer, a little ritual around them. It can be indoor seeds, or actually what I just did this past week, I think I'm going to go over and bless them again. In my garden, in my community garden, I planted bulbs. This is the time of year when you plant bulbs that will lie dormant during the winter and then come up, your tulips and daffodils and that kind of thing. So you can imbue whatever it is that you're planting now, whether it's an indoor plant or outdoor bulbs to come up next spring, with the qualities of the divine feminine, with compassion. Call on Maui with her fertility magic to help those seeds to grow and to flourish into something beautiful. And as the shoots come out, give her a little offering to Maui as well. The other thing that you can do is to take some clay And I've done this actually several times in my new moon circles, to take some clay and to non-hardening clay, I mean eventually it hardens, but and mold it into something, into a symbol or an actual piece of clay that represents what it is that you want to manifest. So maybe it's a heart, a little clay heart. Maybe it's a disc that you carve something onto, a word or a picture of something that you want to bring to fruition. That's another way to really bring in Maui's energy. And Patricia Telesco, who wrote a wonderful book, do I have it right here? Yes, I do. Hold on. She wrote this wonderful book called 365 Goddesses, and sometimes I go in there and flip through and find a goddess if I need one. She offers up this lovely little chant to do as you're invoking Maui when you're planting, when you're planting your seeds or creating something out of clay. Mother Mawu, make me whole, help me attain my sacred goal. Mother Mawu, make me whole, help me attain my sacred goal. So that's something you can do. And if any of this has resonated with you, definitely go to my YouTube channel and subscribe there. I do these every week. Go to my website and you can sign up for a half-hour introductory discovery call to really go further into how the divine feminine lives in you, how you can tap into and claim and embody any of the members of your inner goddess team that resonate most with you. So I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite earthy chants. Oh, and I want to show you one more representation that I found of Mawu. So here she is with the serpent, who is wrapped around her, and the spiral. I don't have my spiral on right now. I have my crescent moon, because the new moon is coming up, and I'll be doing my new moon circle on Zoom this Sunday. You can find that on my website as well. So that's another representation of Maui, this time with a full moon, which is kind of interesting, even though we're definitely in the waning moon time right now as I offer this to you. So the chant I would love to share with you that I'll end with is a pretty well-known one in the chant world, and it goes: the earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. Hey yana ho yana, hey yan yan. Hey yana ho yana, hey yan yan. Her sacred ground we walk upon. With every step we take, her sacred ground we walk upon. With every step we take. Hey yana ho yana, hey yan yan. Hey yana ho yana, hey yan yan. So embrace this powerful energy of West African goddess Mawu as you contemplate what things you want to give birth to at this time, and maybe do one of those rituals, a seed planting or a clay sculpting of what that project, what that song, whatever it is that you want to manifest, and really make a symbol, do some sort of symbolic action. That's what ritual is about, and symbols are so powerful in terms of triggering us to our unconscious mind and to get things done. So thank you for being with me. We'll see you back here next week. Go to my website, learn about www.spiritedliving.com, learn about the upcoming new moon and other ways that you can embody this wonderful divinely feminine wisdom. Thanks for being with me. With me. Bye for now.